All right, mic check. Good.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. And we've got 3 weeks to look at.
Did you change
Not
your color scheme?
well, what I did was I marked those for you because you wanted me to play 3 games with stronger players.
Hmm.
So I marked them as blue so they would be easy for you to find. Um, we've got 3 weeks to look at because we bumped the lesson, but it's a good thing because I haven't had quite as many games as usual each week, but I have plenty of material for you.
Okay. Did you do the Go problems?
I did. I did every single one, and I am currently at seventh place for the month and eighth place for all time on Sumigo Dragon. I've been spending a
Nice.
lot of time there recently. I have become obsessed with the hierarchy of categories.
Yeah, I saw your comments on the feed.
Yeah, so basically what I've been doing this past week is initially I started to look at all of level 3 problems without selecting one category or another, but it was
Hmm.
well over 1,000, and I started to worry about you doing updates. And and so I decided that the best way to approach it was to pick one category at a time and do everything for level 3. Because I want to run through every level 3 problem you've got and look at the categories
Hmm.
and ask questions when I'm not sure, what is better than something else. And in one case, one of your helpers, I pointed out a one that was I versus no I, and they changed it to I versus no I instead of, I can't remember what it was listed as.
Probably life and
Uh,
death.
yeah, it might have been making life. Yeah. So anyway, this has been fun, and I'll continue to look at that.
Okay.
Um, so anyway, for stuff to look at, we've got the 3 problems with stronger players,
Remind me
and
again what the goal was with the stronger players.
you just wanted to see how I would do against them. That
Okay.
was the only thing. And I think it's good to play stronger players anyway. And I lost all those games as anticipated, and some worse than others. Um,
Looks like you won one of them.
oh, I did. That's right, I did. But the reason for that, if I recall correctly, is that he messed up a life and death problem, which he actually should have gotten because I attacked an L+2, which I, instinctively knew couldn't work, but I figured I'd try it anyway. And it worked out okay because he made a mistake. Now, Gem is a rising star.
Yeah, I just
And
taught Jum yesterday actually.
yeah, yeah, Gem is fantastic. Uh, at 4Q now, I see. So yeah, that's amazing. She's 4Q on OGS, and I'm 10Q, so that's quite a difference in rank.
Um, have you ever seen this move?
Yeah,
It's nice when you
yeah.
have a third line here. So it's kind of like you're pincering it already, so you can go
Hmm.
here instead.
Okay.
Not a huge deal. This one feels odd. Do you need this one?
Probably not.
Because the whole point of this move is to make the base and make it alive.
Yeah, that's true. So I could have Tanuki'd.
Mm-hmm. Here,
Yeah.
around is good. Hmm. I think in this case, I would go here. Because if we
Right,
look in 3 moves, it doesn't really look like you did all that much. Versus
right.
here, um, it just feels a little bit better. Yeah, so if we compare,
Yeah.
if you have to get the corner, you're probably doing something wrong with the start point.
Yeah.
Oh, close. Do you know about this move?
No.
So this one is a way to fix this cutting point, kind of in Sente, I think. So the way it works is if they go here, whatever, you can just cut, right?
True.
So they're probably going to block. But now you go
And then I
here.
can play there. Yeah.
And now if they block, there's a double Atari. So they have to fix. And then you can cut.
Okay. Now I'll go back 2 moves. Well, wait a second. Make the move there. And then I play P16. Now, don't they have a double Atari they can make?
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just connect.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, so black has to respond here. And now you do the move, and you've gotten a nice exchange for it.
Okay.
So this is the way to fix this particular shape. So it's almost the same, but minor difference. Okay, this is big. You can play here. This is one of the common patterns, I think.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to deal with this now. Eh, that feels a little bit shy.
Okay, now the thing is, if I were to play M6, wouldn't black cap?
No, I'm gonna like go in.
Okay, so if I go, that just feels so. You know what? That move doesn't feel good to me, because it's like too high for base potential and it's too deep for escape.
Okay, so first let's talk about the strategy, right? So we have 2 things to think about here. We have the cache, we have the influence, right?
Right.
So do you want the influence or do you want to stop the cache? What do you think is bigger, the influence or the cache?
The influence might be bigger than the cash.
Well, if that's the case, then you should reduce like you did.
Um, okay.
You
Well,
have a nice
yeah,
wall here,
yeah, but
but
that's
black's
all.
also, yeah, and then black's also on the 4th line right here.
Right. So
So
there's
to me, it's looking almost dame.
right. Yeah, I can understand that.
So I'd rather
So
destroy.
cash might be better to destroy.
Yeah. So now that we know the strategy, that means we want to pick invasion over reduction.
But is fourth line too high?
So now let's talk invasion tactics. We have approach of 4th line at 3/3, which does not exist here. We have attachments. We have peeps. This is a peep of the large knight.
Hmm.
We have a peep right here. And uh, we can just place a stun and then jump. Okay.
Right.
So we have probably these uh these moves.
Hmm.
I think that would be fine. Um the idea here behind my move is if I pincer right here and then run away, see how black's becoming a weak group?
Right.
So I'm invading in a way that also unsettles. However, being this close to a wall might get me in trouble, so I'm backing off one.
Right.
However, as you probably recognize, you are pretty deep.
Yep.
so it's pretty easy to surround. So I want to be a little bit higher. And then keep black cut and have my escape routes. Maybe something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's also how we arrive at the pincer of the kick. I kind of just placed it generically here, simply because it's further from the wall, and also can give me an attachment here.
Right. That's nice.
So do all of those ideas make sense? Like,
Yes.
we don't really need to play a perfect invasion. Like, we're never going to play the AI invasion, right? It looks like AI picks the attachment. Um, we're likely not going to pick the AI variation. So first, we need to establish if we want reduce or invade. And remember your bin invasions. I know you like to shy away from invasions, but remember your bin invasions. And
Right.
then you also want to have some ideas on how to invade, which is the Colossi approach starts with approach fourth line and 3/3, and then adds on attachments and peeps. And if we take it a step further, we can add on invasions that also unsettle slash attack something.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it, but Fedrin said hi.
Oh, hello, Fedran. I'm so glad to see you here, or to hear that you are here, because I can't see you.
um, so that is kind of the concept here. Is we wanted to pick invasions, and we went over several ideas of how we could invade, and then from there, it's just a matter of practice and review, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. You went in. Black played a little bit of a soft move. You don't need to respond, right? Right side small.
I am alive. Right. So, what I ought to do probably is play M3
Um, I think.
or head out.
Well, I'm thinking like you're getting closer to 5Q. I know it says 10Q, but you're just not playing rated games, right?
That's true. If I were to play rated games and care about it, I'd expect to be 8Q or 7Q.
Okay, so 8 or 7Q, this move's fine.
Yeah.
Once we get to like 5Q range, though, we want to try to do something that's a little bit more Sente.
Yeah, there's no way I would be OGS 5Q. That's just like way too far for me. I
Cut
mean,
at,
at this point.
cut at Q9 is interesting. Someone mentioned Q9. I don't hate this idea. Very aggressive, but I don't hate it. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't dislike this idea. This is passive though. Okay, defense first is fine. Yes.
I was thinking, admittedly, not fully reading the situation. I was thinking that R5 might have gotten me in trouble because, extra cutting points. So that's
Um,
better.
it doesn't get you in trouble, but it doesn't fix the cuts. Like
Right,
black just respawns, and you've given black a stronger wall, so it doesn't really help
right,
you.
right.
This one might be better.
Okay,
Um, but the reason for it is now black cannot double Hane. However, black
right.
can now do some stuff here, some shenanigans here, but it looks like they might be okay. But because it can get confusing, I didn't hate this move, but now it also means that black can double Hane. No, expand the ice space.
Okay,
So you worried about this?
I guess.
Mm, I can see it. What about a touch?
Oh yeah, that's possible. Uh,
Remember that this is an emergency squeeze if you need it,
uh-huh.
and it gets you the number 5 move.
Right.
This feels so passive, though. There has to be a better move than this one.
Yeah, yeah, it does feel passive. I was worried about it, and if I recall correctly, it did live.
Yeah, it lives, but it's more like the fighting spirit.
Yeah,
Like
I know what you're
there
saying.
has to be a better way to live.
Yeah.
This one feels unnecessary. Yeah, yeah, you're definitely alive here. If we reduce it, it should look like this.
Right. And I know that's a live eye space, unless there's Atari issues.
Yeah, but let's see if we play it out.
Okay, so
That's the issue, right?
yeah, that's the issue. Uh-huh.
Okay,
Right.
but I just go here and I just make life.
Okay, good.
But okay, maybe that's too difficult to read.
I think it is.
Ah, there's so many ways to moves here, but the reading is difficult. I guess it's whatever. You got 3 moves over here for it. It's probably still okay. So I'm still not seeing how you lose by 30.
Well, we'll find that out as we go along, won't we?
Because your endgame is usually good. Sometimes it's like flipping a coin on if you wanna play good endgame or not.
Okay.
But
Well,
sometimes it's usually good.
yeah, but let's remember that my opening is good, so I sometimes look like I'm in better shape against a stronger player than I am going to be farther down the line
Hmm.
because, you know.
Hello, Sleeping Stitches. I don't know if you've watched Sleeping Stitches' stream,
No, I
but
have not.
they typically stream later at night.
Oh, like about what time?
Uh, 9-ish Central.
9ish Central. Yeah, that's something I could watch because I'm usually awake. My bedtime is 1 a.m. Eastern time.
8 p.m. to 12 p.m. CST.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all looking pretty good. You are losing out in the end game a little bit though.
Yeah,
Yeah, Black is
that's
hitting him first.
that's
This
not
is mm, this
well,
is
you know.
Gote. Like
Okay. Now the thing is, though, at this point, um, I don't suppose that Black can live by playing at C17.
no way. Not with
Okay.
E18's on the second line.
Okay. So then, there is a clamp, though, right?
No, not with E18.
No, not with that. With B16, is there a clamp? No.
Because of E18, there's nothing.
Right. Right. Okay. Got it.
That second line move kills anything in the corner.
Okay.
There is Tsuji here, but you just back off one and you don't get
Right.
Tsuji.
Yeah, I
But
would back off.
there is a Tsuji here, or even this doesn't work, does it? Because of E18.
Amazing.
Yeah, E18 kills everything.
Hmm.
Yeah, chicken move.
Okay.
I guess less chicken move and more like this is not
It's
good
beyond
end
my
game.
level. It's
I don't think it's beyond your level because you would just back off.
Well, yes, that's true. I would back off from the move at A16. I would do that.
Yeah.
However, it may be a little beyond my level to fully realize that E18 solves every other problem.
Can you see the J looking shape?
I'm not so sure I can read that far ahead.
Hmm. If we can see the amount of space that we have for the corner life and death problems.
Okay.
You do enough corner life and death that you could probably solve that there's not enough space. Like you don't have to read the entire thing because you'll just know enough about that corner that you'll just know that it's dead. So
Right.
this would
Okay.
be applying your corner life and death knowledge to just know that it's dead.
All right. So then I know there's at least 6
Mhm.
points.
Not even.
Yeah.
Because you can't get A17. Maybe that's not obvious. Um, but it's not even 6. But even if it was 6, corner 6, I believe, is dead, right? Side
Corner
6 is
6,
Seki.
a corner 6 that is surrounded by your opponent is dead because they
And
play on the
4.
belly. They
Yeah.
play on the
Oh, yeah,
belly.
yeah, the shortage of liberties, sorry. Shortage of liberties.
Right.
And if it's not shortage of liberties, then it can be a bent 4.
Right.
Unless it's a double Atari life. Anyway, yeah, I think this is solvable for you, but would take some effort. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think if it was a tournament game where you had like 20 minutes, then I think probably you could do it as long as you put in the effort. But I think even at Go Congress, you play really fast.
I do.
Uh,
I can't help myself. I'm trying real hard not to, but I can't help myself.
yeah, you're not getting to the end game. I would expect to see this if you're thinking in game.
Right.
Neither one of you are on the second and first line. End game's not obvious though, on this board.
Yeah. The thing is, some games feel as if there's so much more obvious end game than
Mm-hmm.
others. Like I'm not of course, everything even that happens in the middle of the board is actually kind of like end game because you're pushing. But I mean, like the first line and second line moves that like just pop out at you in some games don't seem to be there in others.
Yeah, some games can definitely be more complicated. Yeah, now you're playing Puppy Go. You're following everything. Notice, okay, finally we're playing simming game. There we go. Now we're taking Sente. That one's not Sente though. One like here. Good. Not good. Not yet. One step too soon.
Oh, right. Because if they play that and I answer it and they play at C5, I can play D6. But,
D5, but
and
yeah.
then, yeah, and then I can play D5. And then if they play C7, I can capture 3 stones.
No, you had already
No,
captured at
2. I
D5.
can capture 2 stones.
Yeah, D5 captures 2 stones.
Yeah, right. 2 stones. Yeah, that's right.
As long as you have the A6 Liberty, you can't die. So this one is chicken move.
Right.
To me, it feels like you're playing very passive this game. Like a little bit more than usual. Kind of like you're just going through the ropes, you know?
Mm.
You're just doing it because you're just doing it rather than actually trying to like push the game. I'm seeing a lot of just there we go. Now we're getting some value. Getting some value. So you're starting to pick up a little bit. But yeah, like here you could be trying to push it.
True.
I think you're too satisfied with this is good. This is fine. You're not greedy enough. You need to have more uh I want to say fighting spirit, but not like in the sense that you don't have it, but it just needs to be more. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you missed a nice move here.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like this game it was just endgame. And
Okay.
endgame is usually your strong suit or one of
Okay.
your strengths, depending on the board.
So at the end, take a look at the graph
Whoa,
and see
that
what.
is cool. Oh, that is so cool.
So does this qualify as a goose?
Yeah, probably. It
Yeah.
uses it's goosey enough.
Yeah.
But I would call this Troublemaster for sure.
Yeah. Trouble Master. Yeah.
Um, Maybe I should just use Troublemaster and Goose for like killing yourself, even though it doesn't work. Maybe just reserve the Goose for the actual like terrible Goose.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
but
maybe. Yeah.
Troublemaster at minimum.
Well, yeah, it might
That's
make sense to
cool.
save the goose for mistakes, rather than, yeah, because like in song, he's got a lot of exposure and he's got that term. So,
Yeah, I really want a Troublemaster category on Mega Dragon, but I'm not sure how people would feel about it.
well, you could discuss it with, InSong, and what you could do is you could call it Trouble Master and then put in parentheses in Sung Huang behind it in parentheses
No,
for for advertisement,
that would
or
make people
something.
believe that I'm taking his Trouble Masters. I think as long as I'm not using the problems in his book, I think it'll be fine.
True. Um, but the thing is, it's
I
hard.
could also call it um maybe like Aji Sense or something or something like that.
You
Trouble
know
Master
what?
is a really good name,
You're
but yeah.
you're better off. You're better off to call it a goose if you're gonna. If
Well,
even though
even
it is a
Goo,
trouble master, you call it a goose to Suji.
a lot of the Go terms that I'm trying to use though are Go terms that I want to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like the word of it, I want it to kind of like make sense when you're solving. You're like, okay, double Atari means double threat. Why is this happening? I don't know. But like for example, double threat, ladder, co is one of those like you have to call it a co pretty much. But I like to say loop or co because loop makes sense. It's a loop.
True.
But when you get something like goose, goose doesn't really make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Exactly. You're right. Goose doesn't really make sense, but um,
I don't know. I don't really have enough for a whole category anyway.
right.
Why is this happening on Opera? Works fine on Firefox, but on Opera it doesn't. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. Hmm. Here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so when you go here, they have to fix still. Or they'll yeah, they still have to fix, and then you get Sente back.
Right.
This is funny. Okay, okay. So Jim had the sense that something was there because Jim wants to play elsewhere, but saw that this existed.
Right.
So
Right.
they fixed it.
But of
But
course, they
it
could have
doesn't
given up.
exist if you don't Tanuki. So
Right. Right. And of course, they could just give up one stone, I guess. Right?
no, that wouldn't be worth it at this stage.
No.
Still, fixing something that's in your head and doesn't exist yet is kind of funny. This one's Gote. This one's Reverse Sentai.
Hmm.
And actually, you want your Sentai first. Yeah, you want all of your Sente first. Then I'd probably capture here, because later you might be able to get a boost this.
Right.
But maybe it's small. It is 1 point Gote. Maybe here is better. I get a little obsessed with Goose. More than I should. Okay, good. Good. You did the same thing I did. No, of course not here. This one is
I
below
know
your
it's
level.
small. Yeah.
Alright, let's look at another one. I think that one was just you lost an endgame.
Right.
Why are you white?
Because I'm doing it with random color
Okay.
when I send the challenge. Because since we're playing even anyway, why not random color?
Okay. You don't need this move, but okay. Here you could do the thing again.
Yep, I'm going to have to take note of that move.
This stone says you want to develop, which isn't interesting. At least kick. At least kick.
Okay.
Because that way you're working with K16.
Invasion.
Good. Get this move in.
Okay.
No, of course expand here.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, you want
I'm
it to be on the
still
higher
I'm
line if you
still
can.
I'm still working on that invasion.
Okay, we're alive. We're alive. Little risky, but we're alive. Okay, good defense.
Another invasion.
Okay, this one you can't do the move, unfortunately.
Oh.
Because it's high instead of low, so you can't do it.
Oh.
Sure. Do you ever look at the cutting points?
Um uh y- you know what? I look at the cutting points more when I don't really look at them that much in terms of invasion, but I kind of look at them as they happen, you know, to
Yeah.
think whether or not I can cut them when they occur. But then I don't really think much about them um, when I'm trying to
So
invade.
when you play on the line of influence, before you default to it, see if you can work with the cutting points. Because what if you just
Okay.
maybe just cut right here? They cap you, they can get in a lot of trouble. I don't know, it just causes trouble, right? You could also peep the cut. There's two ways to attack a cutting point. One is to cut it directly, the other is to peep it. So if we
Right.
like peep a cut here, and you see how fast you're getting out?
True. True. And it doesn't matter if I lose one of those stones.
Exactly. This is a sabaki.
Right.
This is heavy. This is
I
really
know.
heavy. Check your cut.
Um, well, I guess I didn't check it well enough. Now, I mean, I know that it's not a ladder, but Is it a net or a squeeze?
It's definitely not a net, but I think it may squeeze. Um, but I think you're still in
But
trouble.
it's like not enough room to benefit
Yeah.
from that,
I
right?
mean, it's not impossible. I'm just not sure that it works. It would require a lot to work. This is kind of where we would need Sabaki. Because you went a little deep here. Your
Hmm.
opponent found a good move. Nice move. We're kind of getting to the point, especially since you're playing 4Qs and 3Qs, where this straight line run away is reaching its limits of what of your how high level you can go with just these basic shapes. And now
Hmm.
you need to level it up and say, I want the basic shapes, but I want them in Sente. And then in order to do that, you have to utilize cutting points. So 4Qs and 3Qs, I think, are probably just going to be probably 5Q is the limit of what you can do with your defense shapes right now. So to level it up, you'll have to utilize these cutting points more. The good news is 4Qs and 3Qs constantly mess up cutting points, so you have a really good shot of being okay. We'll have a Miai, okay. No, chicken move. Chicken move. A and B.
Okay. All right. So the thing is, here's the funny thing. What went through my mind when Black Tanuki'd is, um, I'm thinking, all right, I'm either alive or I'm dead. Which is it? And so I wasn't seeing the Miai, so I played to live.
It's good that you thought about it though.
Yeah,
Um, so this would just mean just more make life problems.
right.
That is a nice center. Um, I think your opponent just played a really nice attack with this shoulder hit.
Right. Yep.
So in this case, your defense would need to be leveled up. You're not attacking these cutting points at all.
No.
Yeah, if you get the power of the cutting points, you'll have Dawn level attacking. This is too simple. You're gonna lose if you don't get in here. So try to fight with something. Yeah, don't just accept that you're gonna lose. Here.
Okay.
Get some in game going. Maybe here.
Okay.
Just you're trying to pre-block it, but I don't know. I might be overthinking as well. Don't die, don't die, don't die. Very nice. Look at that. Here's a check in this cutting point. Are you going to die?
Well, if I played J1, I'm definitely not going to die.
Well, you don't want to respond if you don't have to.
No, no, I don't want to respond if I don't have to.
So kill it.
Oh, let's see. Um, maybe K1.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. What's your response?
As white,
Yeah.
as white, well, I feel like I have to K2 as white.
Yeah.
And then, black can't J1 because I just take.
Mm-hmm.
So now, thing is, J1 doesn't work because I can play H1 And then if they play K2, I capture 2 stones, right?
Sorry, what was your first move?
Oh, if black plays J1,
Mm-hmm.
I play H1.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they play K1, I capture 2
Right,
stones.
right, exactly.
So J1 doesn't work.
Okay.
K1 doesn't appear to be working. Although, let me see. Okay, if they play K1 and I play K2, and then they play F1 to reduce from the outside, and I block with G1. Well, that wouldn't be good because they could play H1 and I'd have to play H2 and they could connect at J1. So I guess I'd have to respond to F1 with H1 and I'd be okay because they'd have to make an approach move to um, Atari at G1.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm alive, huh?
Yeah,
I'm alive.
you're reading it perfectly. Yeah. Yeah.
That's fantastic. That makes me feel really good.
Yeah, so like it's not the fastest in the world, but like a year ago you couldn't read this at all. So
No, seriously, I could not. I could not have read that a year ago. And at this point, I can actually read it, which is amazing.
yeah,
It
you
took
did it
me
perfectly.
a while. It took me a while. And the thing is, it isn't that I don't have time to do it in the game because I'm almost never in Bioyomi.
Hmm.
So even if it would take me 5 minutes to read, I could spend the time to do it because
Yeah.
I'd have the 5 minutes.
There
But
are
the
two
problem
stages.
is, the problem though is convincing myself to stop and do it. It's, to do the whole thing.
Well, the question
I ought
is
to
what
try
is
and
more
do that.
important, improving from the game or winning the game?
Improving from the game is more important than winning the game.
Right, that's what you got to tell
And
yourself.
right, right. And of course, at the time, I'm thinking, I want this to live, and it's just 1 stone. But instead of thinking it's just 1 stone, I should think that, well,
It is
sometimes that
one
one
rank.
stone matters.
That one
That
stone is the difference between you and your next rank.
right, yeah, that 1 stone matters because it means I've given away Sente,
Yeah.
and
I would
yeah, and that.
say value Sente is 10 points. It's a good like generic number. So if you want
Mhm.
to live and you're willing to spend an entire move to do it, you need to think, okay, if I'm not going to bother reading this, then it's a 10-point mistake if I'm wrong.
Right,
So I can either read it or make a 10-point mistake.
right, sure.
I
And
think
I can at least spend 3 minutes
mhm.
trying and thinking, well, I don't think I've really quite done it right, and I don't think I can
Yeah,
get it all the way
so
to right.
I think it's a good balance of if it's complicated enough that even after a couple minutes you couldn't solve it, then just take the 10-point loss. But if
Right,
it's something that looks like it's solvable but might be difficult, then you need to just put in the work.
right,
And then, of course, if it's easy and you're just playing too fast, and that's just wrong. That's just a mistake.
right,
But yeah, I think your reading has leveled up. You just got to actually apply it. There's two things with life and death. One, learning it. Second, applying it.
right,
So it's not just doing your Go problems. It's also telling yourself to do it in the game, applying that knowledge that you have developed.
right.
Okay. End game of this game is much better than the last one.
Good.
This one is not Sente. I have one here.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Good. Good. Yeah, much better in this game.
So when you get to the end of this, let's see
Remember, connections are better than Tiger's Mouths.
true. At the end, let's see what the score was, how much I lost it by.
I want to say it was roughly the same amount, but the difference is you lost this one in the middle game versus the last one you lost in the end game
True. Yeah,
because it was from the attack.
right.
-12. So it wasn't even. It was a. I was actually pretty close. It was a 12-point move to fix.
Okay.
Um. Okay, I don't know how realistic any of this is, but I think it's a good rule of thumb to just say it's 10 points to not to Nikki. It just gives
Mhm.
us something, some sort of value that we can measure. It may not be perfect, but it'll give us something. How does this work? 2, 3. What if I go this way? 4. Why isn't it loading? Oh my gosh, go away. Um, and then I take the ice space, you extend, and then I attack it from the second line. I have to take the eye, and you escape. Crazy. So I have to go this way, and then you can peep this while threatening this. And if I connect, that's just alive. Wow. That can live.
That's truly amazing. I would never, ever, ever think of that.
I would think of it. I would just think it was this. So you can go that way, or you can peep, and then that'll be enough to make these 2 vital points make 2 eyes.
Mm.
That's a lot of reading. Yeah, I don't think I could find this move. But I'm inspired. Maybe I'll find it in the future now because of it. Maybe I'll try to remember, like, hey, if there's a peep and there's an escape route, maybe I can make a tiger's mouth right here. Right,
Right.
I'll try to remember that for myself. But yeah, interesting move. Okay, so this one was defense. This one you won.
Oh, what's cool is not only did I
Oh,
kill the lower
even.
left.
Look at that.
Yes. I know. Look at it. Wait, and also look at his OGS rank.
5Q.
Okay, and look at my OGS rank, which is 10Q.
Yeah, yours is not real.
Okay. Now, I know it's not real, but here's what's funny. We're both 7Q Ben Kill League.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I
So
think
I killed the lower left, and as you pointed out, it was a even game. I killed the lower left, and then later on, I went on to kill some stones in the upper left, which is when I got my
I really wish
resignation.
I could get you to play ranked games somewhere because I think you could pull
Well,
off 6 or 5Q OGS.
well, here's what I've been thinking about doing. Your playing thing on Sumiko Dragon is really cool, or with the buttons to
Hmm.
press to get your like your predetermined
Time settings.
game settings. Yes, and so I was thinking that if I was going to play any rated games, I would use that as my springboard. And I would probably play the 20-minute plus 15.
I
Uh,
really discourage this for ranked games because you're going to be
okay.
mentally tired to play
All right.
that much that many times.
Well,
League games, this is really good. But for
Yeah.
ranked games, I would say between these two buttons.
Okay, between those two. Well, in that case, I'd try 10 minutes plus 15
I think that's
to
plenty.
begin with. To begin with.
Yeah, I think that's
Uh,
plenty because you're not trying to play perfect, you're trying to gain experience with rated games.
right, right.
Your perfect goes in your league games and tournaments. That's where you want to play perfect. But your rated games, you're supposed to be gaining experience and practice. Does that make sense?
True. Oh, absolutely. The only thing about it is that 15 seconds really freaks me out. And, you know, even with the 20 minutes plus 15, freaks me out a little bit. But I mean, my experience with playing with your time settings for the Dragon League has been that I almost never fall below 15 minutes. And in
that's
fact,
that's because your perception of 15 seconds is Byoyomi, which is a very, very different 15 seconds.
but what happens when you've used so much time that it really is Byoyomi? Because you've
Then
only
you
got.
try to play out a ladder or something to just gain like a minute.
Mm,
Play.
okay.
You can just play some Ataris, like some time Tsujis, to just gain a minute. And in Byoyomi, you can't gain more time. You just have time, right? But
Hmm.
in Fisher, you can strategically say, "This is complicated, so I'll go make a life and death threat somewhere that doesn't lose me points, and play like some Ataris. I'll lose co-threats to gain time." And that's
Yeah.
fine. And then you can actually literally give yourself a minute or two. And that's assuming you ever get down that far, because I know you don't take
Yeah,
15
I
seconds to
know.
move.
It's unlikely I'll get down that far. But okay, so I'm starting to think that if I were to play at 5 minutes plus 10 seconds, I might actually have an advantage because I play so fast.
Yeah,
And,
I think you are under the assumption that you will constantly be near the lowest of the time. But every single move, you're gaining 10 seconds.
right, and I'm
So
maybe spending 3 seconds on the move, you know?
a lot of the
Uh,
times, yeah. So arguably, 5 minutes, 10 seconds gives you more time than 20 minutes, 30 seconds Byoyomi, because the 30 seconds Byoyomi, you don't use 30 seconds. Versus, in three moves, you might play three moves in like 10 seconds with overtime in Byoyomi. But with Fisher, that is three moves, that's 30 seconds guaranteed. Like you get the
well, I'll
10
tell you
seconds
what.
regardless of how long you spend.
Okay, so I feel better about 5 minutes plus 10 seconds now. And the reason I do is because I can count on one hand the number of times in the last year that I've been in Byoyomi in 20 minutes, 3 times 5 games. I just don't get to Byoyomi with 20 minutes.
I truly think if you can get comfortable with this and you just say, "Oh, it's not 10 seconds, it's oh, let's just play three moves to get me like 30 seconds or let's just play out some Ataris to get me a minute." And then you play out what you need to play out and you'll all of a sudden have like a minute and a half, 2 minutes again. I think if you just get used to the mindset of I'm just going to gain time every time I play a move, it'll really make this 10 seconds less scary. And if you can get in the habit of playing lots of these, this is where you'll start gaining a lot of experience very quickly.
Yeah,
However, it is a balance, but thankfully you already have the long games. You just need a lot of short games too.
yeah,
But you're supposed to do both, and you already have the more difficult long games one.
yeah. And considering the fact that I have gotten to the point where I care so little about my OGS rank, Um, I figure that it's unlikely I'll drop to 11Q. So, there's nothing to risk
Yeah,
by playing those
never,
games.
never fear one. Never correlate one game in a rank. You want to correlate rank as a chunk of games, and you want to say, okay, what is my win percentage of the last 10 games? And that's kind of what you want to not pressure yourself, but like you have a performance test, right? You have a performance test. It's not one game, it's 10 games. And a lot of times, what gives people ladder anxiety or rank anxiety is they say, if I lose this game, I'm going to lose rank. That is not the case if you won the last 5 games. You're just going to go down, but you were already up by 5, right?
Right.
But because you
Yeah.
don't want to go down ever, then it becomes a lot of anxiety. But what you got to
It's
do is
like
judge it by a chunk of games.
it's like the stock market. It's
Yeah.
um, it's it's like it's like virtual. Like the money you earn in the stock market isn't real money yet.
hmm
It's until you take it out. It's virtual money.
I have had a lot of fun with stocks when I have the extra spending money because I consider stocks like an investment of extra money. So it's never like any money that I can't afford to lose. And
Right.
then the first chance I get, I'll take my investment out and then leave the rest to play around with.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun with stocks. I had a lot of fun during crypto. I don't have as much fun with the big stocks that only go up like 5% or 10% a year. I prefer like the quick changing ones because I'll gain like $10 at a time or $20 at a time, and it's a lot nicer feeling. And then I only play the ones that like have a really, really good chance of getting me a little bit of money. And since I'm not risking hardly any real money, I'm risking like $20 to $50 at most. So I just get to like have a lot of low pressure about it. And a few years ago, back when the crypto was a lot more exciting, I made like $2,000 off of just cryptocurrency,
Oh, that's nice.
just from playing like with little money instead of it wasn't even like a lot of money. It was just a lot of little bits of money, and it just added up to like $2,000. So that was a lot of fun, but now it's just so stale that it's just not worth it. But it was fun when it lasted.
Yep.
One thing about this, the buttons on this one do quite well, I think, and I really like this page. But but when it pops up the game page, click on the play on OGS button. Don't don't play a rated game under time pressure
Okay.
on the site because it's
So the
still very heavily in testing.
all right. So the click on OGS button will be obvious, right?
It should be. So when it pops up, I don't want to do it right now because I don't want to play
Yeah.
a game.
Don't do it.
But
Yeah.
there will
Don't do
be a
it.
pop up when someone accepts your challenge, and there should be like an OGS button. And if not, it'll navigate you to the game page if it load. Um, oh, that was something I was working on. I want game dash OGS. That was an idea. That was a concept page that I was working on. See here, show on OGS.
Okay.
You want to click that. But I think
Right.
what's actually easier is just have OGS open in another tab. Click it, and when you get the pop up that says, "Hey, your game is ready," then you go over here to the new tab and just start playing.
Okay.
I think that's the easiest way to do it. But the big thing is just remember that if you're going to use the site, don't do it under time pressure because I'm still trying to figure out the lag. It's heavily in beta. The passing is kind of funny because it automatically accepts the stone board removal that your opponent proposes.
Oh, that's
Because
not good.
yeah, like 99% of the time it'll be okay. But, what if the opponent doesn't know how to do it? Or what if the opponent is cheating? What if the opponent misclicks?
Right.
It won't handle any of that. But so this is incredibly under testing right now. And it's not my priority at all. This is more of a fun side project. Because the priority is the Go puzzles. It's not the
Right.
play page. So it
Sure.
is heavily, heavily in testing. So I recommend playing the game on OGS. But the matchmaking I think is great. I love the matchmaking. I'm
That's good.
very happy with my matchmaking. Um, but okay, yeah, I'm excited to see if you can get to 5Q. I think 6Q should be very doable. 5Q, I think if you have a good run at it, I think you have a good chance of being 5Q. 4Q and
Yeah.
3Q, I think you need to play, but I don't think you're going to be able to hit just yet. But I think you need practice
Mm.
against them. I think
Well,
4Q and 3Q is pushing your game quite a bit.
I was 7Q on OTS
Yeah, I think you
at
can pull
one
six
time.
pretty easily.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I'd like to get back to 7 at some point, but
I think 7 will
maybe.
be easy.
Yeah.
Just live. It's fine. Like, it's fine. It doesn't matter. Just don't die. Because here you're leaving a lot of stuff. Like here and here. So it's just not worth it. Um, they just got like 5 points. It doesn't matter. Just don't die. This is fine. Classy approach would jump.
Yeah,
Because classy approach wants to attack something.
right.
I think you wanted this as cash, so this is the cash variation.
Yes. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That's the cash variation.
Right.
This is definitely wrong. I don't know if you can do this. I don't know if you can do this. But even if we play it this way, these two stones look horribly out of place.
True.
Yeah, so this is not picking. This is playing a Joseki by default and not playing the board.
Right.
Oh, I would cut you like so fast. I'm like, okay,
Of
what's your
course
plan?
you would. Of course
Yeah,
you would.
you gotta fight. You gotta fight. You never just let your opponent have what they want.
Okay. Now, the lower left is the corner I do eventually kill.
How?
Well,
That's
I
a super
told you.
alive corner.
Now, I told you when we first started to talk about this game
Yeah.
that I killed an L plus two, and of course it should not have died, but I did kill it.
Amaranth says they prefer long-term stocks because penny or crypto is just gambling. Yes.
Yeah,
Poker is
right.
gambling too, though.
Right. I prefer not to gamble with stocks, but then we have our money in a managed account. So someone else
Is that like a
decide.
Roth IRA or someone else
No,
manages the
someone else
big stock?
manages it. Yeah, someone else manages it, and you pay a percentage
Mm.
of the full amount of the money,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes. It's like 1.25%, which is actually a lot of money. But somebody else does all the work, and
That's fair.
if they're good at it, then
They get more money.
presumably you're going to get more money, so you can afford
Is
to give
that
them
like
their
insured though?
percentage.
Like if they just blatantly lose due to a really stupid decision, do they have like
Oh no,
regulations to prevent them from
actually,
making really bad decisions?
well, the thing is, they have fiduciary responsibilities that require them to invest in your best interest.
Hmm.
But things, stuff happens,
Right, right,
as we
right. So
all know.
it's not that I'm saying they won't lose money, but I'm saying like there has to be some level of they lose like 40% of the account in like 2 or 3 months. That would be
Well, that if they lost that much and the rest of the world was doing okay, then they would probably be negligent. But I'm I'm talking about a company that deals with many, 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 many people. Yeah,
right.
it's Fidelity. It's Fidelity. I mean, there's other companies as well, but
That's interesting though. Like I don't quite know all of it because I haven't looked into the big stuff yet. My investments are if it's less than like if it's like $1,000 or less, I'll do like higher risk for fun. I think it's a not a huge investment that's like unmanageable, but also like I could still make a not small amount of money, some pocket change, some spending money. But
yeah,
for like larger investments, like long term investments, I'll definitely do like the 8% a year, very reliable, stable stocks. Those are my like retirement stocks. So those I just like do trustworthy non gambling stocks. But for
yeah.
like a thousand
But
dollars or less, to me, like it's gambling, but poker's gambling too. It's just educated gambling if you're good at it.
yeah, there are certain rules of thumb about things that you take more risk with. For
Hmm.
instance, if you have a IRA that is pre-tax, and you have a Roth IRA that you've already paid taxes on all the money, your Roth IRA is the money that you'll be taking at the very end. You won't take it first,
Hmm.
and it has more time to earn money, and anything it earns won't be taxed because you've already paid the taxes on it. So you take greater risk with a Roth IRA than you would with a pre-tax IRA.
What are your thoughts on the Roth IRA versus land investments. I know right now is
Oh,
a horrible, horrible time to purchase
m-
land, but
well, see, I'm the wrong person to ask about that because I would never consider investing in land or real estate. I would never consider it.
just don't know enough
Um,
about it.
no, I don't know enough about it, and I pay somebody to manage my money.
That's definitely the smarter way to go about it. Right now, I know being a real estate agent is very lucrative, but land is and housing is so expensive that like people my age can't afford anything. There's no way I would get any I would pay less money on a mortgage than I pay for rent, but I would never get approved for a mortgage. It's crazy.
Yeah, you have to have like the thing is if you're self-employed, then they don't trust that you're going to be earning the
Oh
money.
yeah, like
Yeah,
they
and
almost didn't count
like
my
if
income for this apartment. It's
well,
crazy.
you know what's interesting as a teacher or any kind of person who has a job where you're pretty sure you're going to hold on to it, like I'm sure they like that. But what's really interesting is that I managed to get a mortgage after I retired. I managed to get a mortgage with just my Social Security and pension income. And we didn't even ask them to count my husband's income because he hadn't been in the job for more than 2 years. And they probably wouldn't have considered it. So we got the mortgage just based on my income, and none of it was from a job. It was all from Social Security and pension.
Yeah, I
And
we had a trial trying to prove that I made income. And they're like, and I was like, I'm not gonna go get a job. I have a job, but how do I tell you that I have money?
yeah,
And
they
they're,
don't understand.
well, no, they understood, like the people understood, but they're like, we have to have this documented, and we don't know how to document it. That was the issue. Is it wasn't that they didn't know that I had income. It was like, how do you prove it on paper? Like they needed
Right.
documentation of the income, and eventually it just came down to I gave them my bank statement, and like we also have like W-2s and stuff, and I'm like, if the IRA can tax it, I can definitely claim it that I make it. So
Well, that's true, but you can't prove that it's going to continue in the same amount. That's the hard part.
they for apartments they care about history more than continue. So like if you've made it for 3 months in a row, then it's expected that you can make it for more than that.
Yeah,
But you
that's
have to
true.
have 3 months of history of making a certain amount of money. And then all the roommates like have to have that proof, basically.
Yeah.
But even then, like if you compare that to a mortgage, it's like, oh, we don't really we want like credit scores, and your apartment history doesn't matter, and you also have to have uh like $10,000 down or something stupid, $10,000 to $20,000 down.
Right.
And I'm like, how can I save that when I'm paying twice the cost of the mortgage on the apartment until I can afford the mortgage?
Yes, that's terrible. That makes it so hard.
Yeah, and the cost of houses are like 3 times what they were like 10 years ago. It's a lot, a lot, a
So,
lot, a lot more.
so what's like a reasonable house?
I think
Yeah,
if you could get a house for $200,000, it's going to be just a meh house.
yeah. See, now I live in New Jersey, so we have the highest property taxes in the country, and our a like a moderate house here would be like 300,000.
Yeah, it's ridiculous now.
And you know what you'd pay in taxes on that? Close
Uh,
to, well,
we're
you
talking per
guess.
year? Per year?
Yeah, per year. Guess what you'd pay.
Um, when I last tried to do the math, the cost of running a house, I believe, was 10% per year is what I rounded it to. So that would be no 1%, I think. So 300,000, so that'd be three to 9,000 per year, depending. So divide that by 12. I'll divide it by 10. So I want to say 300 to 900 total. But since we're talking on the high end, I'm gonna guess 600 right in the middle.
You're saying 600 per year?
No, 600 per month to do Property taxes, maintenance, all of it
Just
combined.
okay, but just taxes, I'm talking.
Uh, Maybe 600 per year, so $60 a month, maybe
Okay, just oh, it's well, 600 per month
per year.
comes to 7,200. You're pretty close. It's in the neighborhood of 7,000 to 8,000 a year, just in taxes alone.
Here,
Just taxes.
that's just the taxes. Oh my gosh.
That's just the
I'm
taxes.
over here thinking like lawn maintenance, plumbing, electrical
No, no, no.
maintenance.
That's no
Like I
taxes.
Yeah, yeah, just the
That's it.
taxes is already higher than what my combined was like 5 years ago.
Oh, and talk about like maintenance.
Mhm.
We have 12 hemlock trees that require. We have the 12 hemlock trees that we have to keep them safe from the pests,
Mhm.
or they'll die, and then they'll cost mega bucks to remove. And of course, it would be a shame to lose them.
Yeah.
Well, um, it costs us in the neighborhood of $5,000 every 2 years to treat the trees.
I bet the trees are really pretty though, aren't they?
Yeah, the trees are really pretty, and I feel like it's my obligation to keep
Yeah.
the trees safe. But if you take that's 2,500 per year divided by 12. Okay, we pay $208 a month to keep our trees healthy.
There you go. Um yeah, I think in 10, 15 years I'll be so much better off than I am now. But it's like, am I still gonna pay an apartment for 10 years? It's crazy. Ugh. I hate um paying for the apartment, but I can't really afford anything else. And some other ideas that I have are maybe just going to be uncomfortable. I think Karen and I keep bouncing around ideas, like we're juggling different ideas, and we might just pick one and try it. One that we're thinking about is saving up a few thousand for down payment. Um, Down payment for a camper because we can get approved for a $30,000 camper, but we can't get approved for um, a first time homeowner's loan with the same deposit, same amount
Well,
for the
that's
deposit.
that
So
sounds that sounds like a really good idea.
I
If
just
you
want to
can
own
live
something.
if you can live in a small enough space, if you can bear to live
Yeah,
that small.
that's the thing, and the reason we like the camper is because I go to so many Go tournaments. So we'll be able to like take it with us and be like a portable hotel.
Right.
And on the
That's
one
great.
hand, it sounds great, but on the other hand, that is a very confined space for many years while saving up even more money to eventually, in theory, get a house. But like a house is just not on the table. It's just way too difficult to get one. So for us,
Yeah.
we're thinking like it's either pay for apartments, which is good and comfortable, but at some, I just really want to own something. Even so, we're thinking about just taking the leap and getting a camper and then just being slightly uncomfortable.
I like
Uh,
the idea of the camper. I think that sounds really good for you.
yeah, it is the best idea that we have so far. But it's not like it's the only idea. And I'm a really big fan of also having a certain type of lifestyle. Because right now we are working like 7 days a week, and I'm like, I can't keep doing this. We got to do something. Like, we got to reduce expenses somewhere because the apartment we're in is just way too expensive. Like, it's beautiful. I love living here, but I can't work this much to pay for it. So I would rather just work less and have something smaller.
Yeah,
Um,
that makes sense.
oh man, do I love my I love the amenities that we got. The space, the luxuries. It's really great, but I can't afford it. Like I'm paying for it, but I can't afford it. I can't work 7 days a week. It's killing us right now. But I do love some Ego Dragon, and I think the big thing is I have to help her with her job and still do some Mega Dragon and still do lessons. So I'm like
Right.
burning out like so hard.
Mm.
But I think if I can get the camper and we can reduce the expenses and reduce the amount of work that we have to do, then we can actually start, visiting friends and maybe go to the movies and stuff and actually do
Sounds good.
things.
Oh,
But
by the way,
yep.
it's my fault that we got so sidetracked because
Sorry about that.
because I started to talk about investments and crap. But let's get back to the game.
Okay. Yep. I'm curious how you're going to attack this. Which direction do you think you should push?
Uh, I thought to push it from the top. At least I think that's what I decided to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Push it to your strong wall.
Right. Yeah, I even thought about that.
Do you recognize that this tiger's mouth makes the entire wall alive?
Um, well, it certainly felt helpful.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's pretty helpful. The wall with the tiger's mouth is really, really strong. So you should feel very confident that this wall will live. So you can go like really all out with the attack if you want to. Now you can constantly push it to the left and feel very confident your wall is going to be okay.
Yeah.
What? This is odd timing. Aren't you in the middle of an attack?
Uh, you know, I guess I guess I failed to follow through. And you know what? I'm not 100% convinced it was an attack.
This one?
No, no. The move at C12.
Oh.
I'm not 100% convinced it was an
Oh, you
attack.
were trying to make a base.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
um,
You
it,
always give me credit for doing more than I'm actually doing.
hmm. If you don't see that this is a weak group, I don't know how to get you to see that it's a weak group. Because this is your side of the board. You
Yeah.
have stones on both sides. So definitely a weak group.
I guess I figured once it played the diagonal, it wasn't going to die.
It's not going to die regardless. The point is the profit.
Oh, okay, fine.
The heck? Be careful here. This is a cuttable.
Maybe I should have just jumped. Yeah.
It's cuttable. You could lean, but jump is also fine. Well, the follow-up to the shoulder hit is to connect. If you're not going to follow up the shoulder hit, then why play the shoulder hit?
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
This is going to be touch Nobi. You want to keep the Aji right here alive. It doesn't look like there's enough, though. But if you get a move right here, you can see that there's some potential. You want to keep all that alive. Connections are better. You don't need ice. Yeah, the big thing in this game is you're just not attacking. Black has 2 floating groups and you're not doing anything to them.
Jeez.
That is a 2-space into a knight's move.
Yes, it is.
So a cutting point to another cutting point. Oh my gosh, this poor cat cannot figure out how to pull the door backwards to open it. Okay, well, give me a second. He's yelling at me to open the door.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, there was a door shut in the house somewhere, so he's losing his mind. He has to have access to every room that he knows about.
Are there rooms he doesn't know about?
Yeah, the outside.
Uh,
We don't let him know that that door opens. Otherwise, he'd complain about that one too. As far as he knows, that's a wall. Um, and then the roommates' rooms, but they usually keep the doors open, so I guess he's just not as curious about it.
so how many people are in this apartment?
Um, Four, so me, Kara, and two roommates.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so it's affordable, but some point in my life I want to live without roommates, and I cannot afford this place without roommates. How do I attack this? Maybe a shoulder hit? Oh, I don't know how to attack this. AI, tell me how to
A
attack it.
cap? A cap? Does that
I
do
don't
anything?
attack. That's the answer, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Something in here. I don't know. Like to me, the attack is already too late. Oh, this is actually not cuttable, but it looks like it's cuttable, but if we play it out a little bit further. So I want to attack this somehow. If black cuts you here, it looks like you're cuttable because it's not a ladder or net, right?
Right.
So here, 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 here. What do you notice?
Well, that black is not going to live.
Right, black's trapped. So it's actually not cuttable. As long as you just realize that black is trapped.
Right.
This is not necessary, because here you're thinking points, but there's still an attack on the board.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I think you just didn't attack. I think
Well,
that's the big
yeah,
thing.
this is my problem.
Yeah.
We know this is my problem.
I don't know what this move does. Hmm. I really wish you had played that Tiger's Mouth earlier.
I know, I know,
Your
I know.
opponent
I
played some
I
good
live
endgame
to
here.
regret it.
All right, now we're gonna see if your endgame good or not
You
good.
know, it's funny, not playing that
Ooh.
Tiger's Mouth earlier
Mm-hmm.
is kind of like me not wanting to make a move I don't have to make, which, you know, I'm trying to do more of, but that was not a good time to do it.
Mm-hmm. Um, I like that you ignored to play a bigger endgame, which means in this game you're clearly thinking about endgame more.
Okay, now what was the move I ignored? Go back.
Here, played a second line, and you're
Oh,
like, this
yes,
second
yeah,
line is
yes.
bigger.
Yeah, I like my second line better.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And you get the yeah, you're definitely doing better in game this one compared to the first one. Yeah, when you think about the end game, it looks a lot better. You just got to think about it. Okay, now we're getting into the Gote moves.
Pretty soon, I'll try to
Yeah,
kill the L+2.
I think you still have a habit of taking the Gote move like 1 or 2 steps earlier than you
Right,
need to.
right.
You'll miss like 1 or 2 moves on the board.
Now, I start to try to kill the L+2.
Uh, yeah. Here.
Right. Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh, out. Wait. Should be outside first. But
Okay.
this is alive. But if you go
Right,
here, it's also alive.
right.
This is a
So
super alive shape.
I know, it depended on the mistake.
Don't lose points tricking your opponent.
I'm not saying that I was necessarily trying to trick him, but I got lucky and there was a mistake.
Oops. Oopsie daisy. Gotta do your Go problems on SumegaDragon.com.
And the funny thing is, he said something about he should, work on Sumigo, and I told him I'd have a recommendation for him.
Oh, I love and hate SumegaDragon.com so much. Like I love what I've created, but I hate the amount of things that break every day. So
Right.
so I love and hate SumegaDragon. Yeah, your in game in this game was much better.
Wait until you
So
see what happens.
this is so
See?
interesting. Oh,
See that?
nice. Nice with the goose. That's a goose to Suji.
Right. And I was looking at F18 and I was saying, it's not time yet.
Nice. Patient goose. Patient goose. So what's really interesting is every single game, something that you lost by was different.
Right.
So in this game, it's the classic mistake of you didn't attack enough. But this is the game you won.
I won this game, yeah.
And this has to do with your Go
But you know
problems,
what?
though.
It's interesting though, because I think maybe this one was pretty even. Check and see
No,
what
it
the
was.
score
Remember?
was
Do you remember?
Yeah, that's right. Before I killed it, it was even. So even if I hadn't killed it, I might have won this game. Especially since I managed to pull off the goose. So the goose alone, without the kill, probably would have been enough.
Yeah. But this game, I think you won because you had better Go problem knowledge.
Right.
The game was even, but I would say you didn't take a lead because you didn't attack, which makes sense because attacking is how you gain your lead. So you're not losing the game, but you're not winning the game.
Right.
Because you're not attacking. Attacking is how you gain that lead and win. But the first two games, the first one was just straight up in game because both of you played really strong shape. The second one against the 3Q. Oh, crap. What was that one again? Oh, yeah, you needed to level up your defense. Your opponent profited quite well. That was probably just too much of a level gap. Okay, so game one, the end game was not good enough. Game two, defense needs to level up to fight a 3K. Game three, you missed attacking, but you won because of better life and death. So now I just need to make a website where you do 100 attack problems, right?
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, if only I could make that.
Yeah, that would be great. Whole board problems with attack opportunities.
I could get something similar, but it would not be anytime soon. So what I have again in the side project playing stuff on the play page, which you can actually do on your free time if you want. There is an opening trainer, so position practice. So what this is you can pick the bot you want to play, and then you pick a starting position, and you'll play the bot with that position.
Okay.
Now,
do you play the whole game, or do you just play the opening?
It plays the whole game, but you can resign it after like 30 moves if you want to just see how you did. If you just want to practice your opening.
This isn't rated, so I can resign without
they should not be rated. If they are, then that's a bug. But they should not be rated. These are all just for practice, and that's the idea. Now, if you want to take it a step further, if you're good at reading SGF files, you could put in your own position. And the reason there's very little stuff right here is because, again, this is just a side project. It's not my main priority right now. But regarding what we were just talking about, if I took game positions like the one you just had, and I said, hey, set up this as the starting position, and then play an AI at single digit Q, and you're going to practice attacking from this position. And then you could do that. And if I had like 20, 30 positions set up with a group for you to attack, then that might be what we're talking about.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But unfortunately, at the moment, That is very far
Yeah,
down the priority
just
list.
work on the important
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
first.
But if I could do that, then maybe your attacking would level up because you would just do 100 positions where you attack the opponent.
Yeah.
Um, do you have any attack and defense books?
I do have the attack and defense book in the Elementary Go series.
Um, try doing one chapter a day, and just to refresh your mind of it, because I think just getting you thinking about attacking is probably the next step. Is just making you start the attack.
Right.
But that is the thing we've been working on. But for playing the stronger players, I think it has shown that you are stronger than you used to be, for sure.
Yeah.
I think you could pull off
Hopefully.
5Q, and then you're going to play rated games. So if we can get you to 5Q so you can start playing 4 and 3Qs more, I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
Jim is probably a an opponent, but not the greatest of opponent because Jim has good shape, which is not something you're lacking. You have good shape as well.
Right.
You need someone with bad shape so you can learn how to attack them.
Okay. Have you
Um,
seen,
yeah.
look at Jem's profile.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, make it so it's just rated games. And look at the graph.
The graph up
Look at
here.
the graph for rated games.
This is always rated games. It doesn't matter if it's unranked or not ranked. It doesn't change the graph.
So what changes if you click the thing that the slider at the top of there? What changes?
Oh, you know how like you have an ELO versus a regular rank?
Right.
This is
That's what I wanted you to see. Look at that graph. Okay, click it again. Look at that graph. Look at how it just goes up and up and up and up.
so this is your games of all time versus this is the
That's
monthly breakdown. Is that correct?
okay. Really don't know, but all I know is that it's very impressive when you
I
click
don't
that.
either. It looks like 246 games. So this is the rank history.
Oh yeah, so yeah, maybe
What is
it's
this
just
graph then?
that's uh 2022 to 2024. What does it say when you click on it? Um,
Maybe this
maybe
is game records
it's
separated
separate.
by date, game records separated by game record.
Yeah, maybe it's just every single game record in succession.
Should
Whereas
give
the
you the
other one,
same graph though.
the other one, like I think maybe it has to do with the timing. Like like if you're not playing much over a certain period of time, it would be level.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, because there's a level right here
right.
versus this is just this game compared to the last game.
Exactly. And
Okay.
I like having it that way because
I
I think
didn't know this was here.
well, leave it that way because I think it shows you a better idea.
Meanwhile, slowly getting weaker at the game. Uh, yeah, every time I take a gap, I just go down a rank. Um, that's cool. I guess I'm not going as much as I thought, but still, it's not my peak, clearly. Because it looks like my average is around here, and right now I'm below average, which makes sense because I'm not doing anything related. I'm just coding.
Yeah,
But that's cool. What is yours? About a straight line almost.
almost.
But yours is going down because you're not playing.
That's because of the
March.
Western Server Challenge thing.
Yeah.
Because almost every ranked game there in the last 3 years was from Western Server
I
Challenge.
really like this graph. Amaranth said mine is ugly.
Yeah, show his. And then we probably have time for one more game.
Yeah. Is it not the Amaranths?
I think it's Amaranth's 99, isn't it?
I don't know. I can't keep all your usernames straight. All my students' usernames. Okay. This isn't that
It's a
bad.
nice graph. That's a very nice graph because it shows it's definitely, it's going up. Now it's leveled out for a little while,
Yeah.
but it's
You're just at
on the way
you're at a
up.
barrier, but you're not bad. Like, no, this isn't bad at all. This is just a barrier. Like, you're not even going down. Like, it's just a straight line.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
that's
down at all.
perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine
Mm.
to stay the same for a while.
Arguably, Buzzsaws is much worse
Yeah, mine
because
is
it's
worse.
going down.
And that's because I don't
Yeah.
care about it.
Well, this is because of this is my fault because of the Western Server Challenge.
Yeah, that is true.
Um, that's cool. I didn't know that graph existed.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's find one more game. That would
What
probably
are
be a good one.
these?
What do you mean?
Like this week, they're all losses?
Except for one.
Right.
The NAOL game, I won by 4.5.
Um,
uh,
did this one get
well,
reviewed?
one of them's the dragon game. Don't review a
Yeah,
dragon game.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I wonder if I already reviewed it. Did I already review it? I did not.
no, it hasn't been reviewed.
I know I
But
just posted one of yours, I believe, either yesterday or
okay.
today.
Oh, good. Now, the
Um,
Mendex game, the very last Mendex game, that one's the first one was reviewed by Ben,
mhm.
but the very last one you could review. And I will admit that I fell victim to a vital wedge
Oh,
problem.
it's the same person that you lost to.
Yeah, it's the same person. Uh, I fell victim to a vital wedge problem in
What's this
this
person's
last game.
level in Benko?
Um, Same as me, 7Q. However, he's at the highest level of 7Q, and which means that he's like about a half a rank higher than I am,
Mhm.
but which isn't much. But he and I are kind of like rivals. And if you look at how many games we've played together on OGS, up until this game, we were just about even. So we really do trade wins and losses. Um, but he got 2 wins against me in a row. And like I said, I fell victim to a vital wedge problem, and I preemptively assigned myself homework. I
Mhm.
did I did every vital wedge problem, and there are 60 of them, and they all are either 2, 3, or 4 level, and most
Good.
of them are 3. There's 30
I
of them
can
at 3.
already tell you why you lost.
Tell me why I lost.
You didn't punish. You didn't attack.
Okay, all right, that's probably
That is my
true,
theory. That is
and
my theory
this
because your
that is
opponent is leaving weaknesses everywhere. But that's not one of your strong suits.
I know, and I have to get better at it.
That means you need to play Mindex more. And you need to attack
I
more.
know. Oh, but wait until you hear. When Mendex played the main league game with me on Monday, he suggested that we play our 3 title tournament games that we're allowed to play for the month. So I scheduled them, and this is the first of 3. So there will be 2 more games with Mendex before the end of the month.
I think if you want to win, you need to focus on trying to find attacking timing. You need to attack
Right.
something. You're not going to win against a player that overplays a lot because you'll always be slower than them because you're not playing cuttable shapes and they are. So if you never attack a group or never attack a cutting point, there's no way for you to win. They literally have every single move is going to be worth more if if it doesn't get punished.
Right, right, right. Yeah, I agree.
This is passive. Okay, this one's okay. You really needed this move though.
Uh,
Because remember, you go until the turn is Gote.
okay.
But
Yes.
here the
I didn't
turn
I didn't
is
remember that.
almost Sentai. Okay, reduction is fine. Yep. What? What? What?
I know. I should have played S13.
Both of you should see this. It's
I
literally,
know.
it literally just happened, and
He
you saw
saw
that
it.
one. But
He saw it before I did, and he fixed it.
yeah, both of you played way too fast right here. That was definitely. This is you following your opponent.
Oh, and here's another thing. One of my other weaknesses or faults is that I play too fast. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Mendex plays faster than I do.
I'm not surprised. The shape here is something to be desired. I want to say connection here is the answer. Oh, no, no, no. You have to go on this side.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, it's a net. This one's not
Right.
a net, though. That's the problem.
Right. Yeah. See, I don't think I would have been able to read that.
Well, if you can realize that there's two connections and you have to figure out which one connects everything, then I think you could read it. It's just a matter of thinking that rather than playing fast. There's so many
Okay.
cutting
By the
points.
way, AI desperately wanted me to play M18.
18 here?
Yeah, I sorry, 16. I read it wrong. M16.
Yeah,
AI desperately wanted me to play M16.
because it's very valuable.
Yeah,
It's so many
and
cutting points.
I did not see it.
Yeah, it's a matter of like seeing your opponent's cuts. Yeah, here is the trying to use your opponent's shape to defend yourself in Sente. Um, Notice how you are just playing a lot of moves, but you're not actually doing anything because you're already alive, pretty much. You can go attack this.
Yeah,
So there's a group here, a cut here, some cuts right here as well. And all of a sudden the situation's like hugely reversed.
yeah.
Ah, this is so defensive. You need to start looking for your opponent's cutting points when you're making life.
Right.
This one might not work, but I think it's not a huge deal. Yeah, it's not a huge deal. I think the big key is seeing M16.
Yeah,
Oh, at least wedge.
I know. I know.
This is very passive. And you played another one. You seem very scared of this player.
I guess I am.
Yeah, you were like way more defensive than normal in the last 3 games that we saw. Do you think this can die?
Um, Actually, uh, after I got the move at K14, all the way at the end of the game, I evaluated that final position and determined that I didn't have to add another stone to it. So at that point, I was pretty darn sure I was fine. Um,
If you can realize that black plays this, you can see that this is alive, right?
Let me. Yes, I can. Yes,
Right. Is the
right.
bulky 5 plus 1.
+1.
So this is negative 10 points, as we have established.
Right.
But how
Yes,
many?
-10.
Yeah, I think that one you could have seen. That's fine. That's fine. You're starting in game, so that's not in and of itself bad. But there are still cutting points here.
Right.
You can go up. You making life or in game? Not sure what you're doing.
And endgame.
Okay. Okay, that went in your favor. I expect you to another one. What are you worried about? If I play endgame, you're worried about this?
I guess.
Okay, so you're seeing something like this, right?
Yeah.
But actually you just go
Oh,
here.
yeah. You know what's interesting about that corner? At the end, uh, at the end, he threw he threw stones in there trying to kill it, and then I think he was really trying for Seki, and it got to the point where if I answered an Atari that he made on a single stone, he would be able to make an eye, and it would have been Seki. I would have had one eye, and he would have had one eye, and it would have been Seki. But I actually destroyed his eye potential rather than answering his Atari, and I felt really proud of that.
Nice.
And yeah, and he did not make Seki.
Good. Yeah, this one is another negative 10. Okay, now we're getting our end game. You're going for the Gote one this game instead of the Sente.
Okay.
Yeah, all of the Sente first. Wait, did I just
Okay. After,
I accidentally killed black, my bad.
now, okay, forget about killing black.
Yeah.
And but I was wondering what the score would have been after you got all of those Sente moves.
Oh, fudge.
Yeah, so without killing black.
15. And back here. 8. Oh, you lost points. Or I lost points? What?
Oh, what do you know?
Oh, because I fixed the cutting point. That's why I lost points.
Oh, okay.
That's not reliable.
No, it is not.
Actually, we can compare if I'm I don't know how to fix this properly. Let's just go here. Okay. So 147, 22 for black, 16 for black. What is the
So you
difference?
got some.
Where am I losing points?
Oh, you did lose points? Oh, yeah. That's funny.
Oh, because the cuts still exist.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, because keep fixing the cut, so that's what loses me the points.
Hmm.
This is why cutting points are important.
Yeah.
Good, good. Go away, AI. This one's not good. It's Gote. Gote. But your
Oh,
opponent
it's
keeps.
reverse. It's reverse Sente.
Yeah, but Sente is better than reverse Sente.
Okay, right. That is true.
There we go. There's some good endgame. Good, good. Hey, you found the cutting points. There you go.
Yeah, I did. But I
Oh,
knew
if
I.
you had found this one too, and
Oh
then went
God.
here,
Oh God.
that would have been cool. Oops.
This was tragic.
Oops. Yeah, your opponent sees cutting points because that's what they're good at.
Right.
That's what you gotta master.
Okay, here comes the
-10.
here comes the vital wedge problem.
This is an I.
That is, well, yeah, that is true.
You have 3
because,
corners.
yeah, that is true. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is another
And
-10.
Gojuan refers to them as shoulders.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is another -10 move. What?
See,
Uh-oh.
now I
Uh-oh.
misread it.
Uh-oh.
No, okay, now let me tell you this. I did stop and I did read it, but I got it wrong. I didn't anticipate the fact that he was going to get the F6 move after I answered that Atari. So once I realized it, I didn't give him all of it,
Yeah.
but I totally misread it. I did read it though.
Fun fact, it doesn't work right here, but the moment you play this, it works. It's kind of
Right. So I
kind of
did it
funny.
to myself.
Do you know which problem that is? I
It's the
think we
it's a vital wedge problem,
yeah,
right?
because we talked about that on the feed. I
Yeah, I
believe
know. Yeah, and I already did all 60 of them.
before this game or after this game.
I did them after I played the game, and I realized that I had a vital wedge problem, and I did all 60 of your vital wedge
Okay,
problems.
good. So you already, yeah, you said you did the homework already.
I preemptively assigned homework to myself.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to do.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what you were saying.
Here's where he tries to make
Clamp.
the okay, clamp is better, huh?
It's just easier.
Right.
Easier to read.
Mm-hmm.
If I go here, 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 it's a Seki.
Actually, it would have been sucky if you just played S1, right? Instead of the 3. Okay.
No, because now it's I versus
No,
no I.
no, that's not what I mean. You played T2, which he did. Well, actually, he
No,
did.
he played here.
Oh, he played there. And then I answered. Then he played there. Okay.
Yes,
And then
yes, 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 yes. That is a
that's
big
why,
difference.
yeah, that's why I played S1. And I thought about that for a long time before I played it, because I thought, oh, what happens if I answer him? And then I realized that he would
So
get an I.
here,
I could do it. Oh, do it then? Okay, fine.
how does he make an I now?
No, I'm not talking about now. Go back to what he actually did. Okay, there. And then I answered, he played there. Now, if I answer him, no, play his move again. If I answer him and play T4, then he plays, oh, that works too. But I was going to say S1.
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing, yeah. Because I can't approach. But if he approaches, okay, now he's actually able to
I kill.
approach. See?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's able to approach.
No, you
So
throw
it's
in right here. That makes it a
okay, fine.
self-Atari, so now it's a Seki.
Right. Okay, so then I have to do that. But if I were to pass, he would be able to approach.
Yep.
Yeah, so that would be easy to miss.
Yeah, this is why we just clamp. Just clamp, and there's no I, guaranteed no I. Because the way
Okay.
you could tell the way this is all working is if black makes an I, then maybe there's a Seki or something. But if there's no I, and which the I's are at the 1-2 points, if there's no I, then there's no problem.
Right.
This is lazy reading. Okay, so I'm going to assign 50 cut. We're going to do 50 squeeze. These are attacking ideas.
Uh-huh.
We're going to add on 50 nets because you did. There was one. You missed the net, but it wasn't an easy net. So we're going to add on 50 net.
Right. Fine. No problem.
Um, let's add on 50 corner life and death as well.
Okay.
And I think that's a good amount for homework. Questions?
No questions. Uh, this was good. And congratulations to Mendex on 2 wins against me in a row, one of which you reviewed.
I will say this is going to be a good opponent for you to play often. Just
Yeah.
remember that you don't want to be passive because you have a tendency to be passive against this person. And
Right.
you want to at least attack once or twice because they do give you openings. You just got to find them. So you're going to
Right.
have to like make a point to try to attack something against Index. And it's
Yep.
typically going to be a floating group or baseless group or a cutting point.
Yeah.
Beyond that, to level up, which would be really hard, is to utilize cutting points for defense. It's hard,
Right.
but if you can do it, you'll pass 5Q.
Right.
Anything I need to elaborate on?
I don't think so. It was a good lesson. Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks for reviewing.
All right. Well, hope you enjoyed. Sorry for the reschedule, but I appreciate the reschedule.
No problem.
And are we still meeting next week?
Well, I have to talk with Ben about that because um, I might have a conflict. So
Okay.
I'll find out fast, and I may cancel it anyway, simply because I don't really like to have 2 lessons just 1 week apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking about planning some kind of thing that we could do in between lessons that wouldn't require me to have played games. Something maybe involving inviting someone to play and doing some kind of shadow go thing,
Mm-hmm.
which would give me an opportunity to make up for, having to do games, lessons 2 weeks apart, but maybe sometimes having it be 3 weeks apart, which then adds to my backlog.
Yeah.
So I want to find a way to get rid of the backlog without doing lessons 2 weeks in a row.
Shadow goes
Uh,
a lot of fun. So I think that would be
yep.
fine.
Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is to preemptively cancel that
Okay.
and then just let us have a break.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Yep. And we'll see you when I see you.
Okay. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. And let me go ahead and upload this. And shout out to my lessons. I am actually seeking students, so if you're interested in lessons, like the one you just saw, you can get lessons here. The prices have been lowered, so if you are interested in getting lessons and you checked before, maybe try checking again. I did lower the prices because I do need more students. I also need to delete a lot of these videos out of my folder. And this is gonna be lesson. You can also get access to the lesson VODs if you're interested in watching them for $3 a month. How many students do I have? That's a difficult question because some people will get lessons and then not use them for months. So sometimes they'll just be like, "Oh, I haven't had lessons in a while, so I'll just start using them now. I have a backlog." So it just depends on like if people are scheduling them or not. Yeah, I have a lot of students that use them periodically, and don't actually. Some students like never use them. Like some students will purchase them, do one or two, like purchase a pack, do one or two, and then never get lessons again after that. Which I'm not complaining. But yeah, so it's impossible for me to know exactly how many students I have. But Probably 3 to 4 lessons a week is what I get right now. I don't know. Well, it's not like oh, thank you for the gift subs.
The
Yeah.
Amaranths gifted 10 subscriptions. The first one to say Colossi lesson gets a lesson. We reached our subs goal of 20. Thank you everyone. Emote underscore Colossi super emote underscore Colossi super emote underscore Colossi super emote underscore Colossi super
Oh my
emote
gosh, that
underscore
alert.
Colossi super.
That alert has to be updated. Oh my gosh. That's the goal emote. I just fixed the subs. But yeah, thank you so much for the gift subs, Amaranths. Thank you, thank you. And I did reach a sub goal, so if someone wants to get a lesson, just say me first. I can give a lesson away to someone. But yeah, I am seeking more students. Paige, you're not getting it. Because I'm not counting that. Ritual, all right. Just send me a message on Discord, and you can get a lesson. Thanks to Amaranths. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream today. And if you're interested in supporting what I do teach Go for a living, and I code Go for a living. So not only do you support me by letting me teach you, you also are supporting Smego Dragon. Speaking of, I am doing a bundle deal. If you have Smego Dragon and you want to buy a lifetime, message me and we can work out something to where you buy the lifetime and still get lessons on top of it. That way you can like have a bundle. So if you're interested in that, also message me. I'm happy to work with you on that as well. I think with someone, what I did recently was like 3 lessons for a lifetime. But yeah,
Steppenwolf just followed.
thank you for the follow. I'm happy to work with you. I do need students, so I'm happy to work with you, whatever you need. But with that, let's go ahead and raid a baddie bat.